Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hopefully that is loud enough. Yeah, I think it is. All right, and let's get that. Pull it up channel. Let's go ahead and click into this. Okay, so stream, making sure I got my audio on this one. Boom. Okay, hit that one more time. It should start getting audio. Last but not least, save, and now we're ready to go. Okay, so this morning, what do we have? What do we have? This morning, as far as stocks go, we have we have a couple of little movers, MSPR, BGLC up 38%, and then we have Vero up 35%, VERO. Vero, I believe, was a previous mover, if I'm not mistaken. Let's jump over here and look at it. So Vero, oh yeah, it was. Okay, so it had this little movement here, 1169, whatever. It's coming up to this previous level of the ATR high here. I'm wondering, can it actually break that? It looks good. Let's go and look at some of Vero's statistics and see what their news was on the day of. VERO. Vero. Come on, baby. Why are you not pulling up? What was your news on the other day? Need you to hurry. Venus Concept announces a $1.1 million registered direct offering, but 4 days ago it had released its earnings. Okay. This was the Canadian stock. Let's go Vero. Okay. Come on. Okay, yeah, this is the one we saw. Delivers minimally invasive, non-invasive medical aesthetic. So this is the second day this week that it's getting news. Neither one of the news catalysts were strong, but I'm seeing it come up here towards this 564 ATR high. Now, if we look at previous levels that have been received some heavy trading, we have up here at 11. We have down here into the 734s. And then it dropped, had this big drop from this level. Okay. Let's go look at the larger time frame as well. On the day. Oops, wrong thing. Maximize. Okay, so this is what happened last time. It went up, got absolutely clapped up. Now it's up at right at 550-ish level. So right up in here somewhere in this gap. So which way can it go? You know, how do we assess this? It doesn't have any strong news on today, but it is up 38%. Also, though, on the other, this MSPR, let's go and look into that, and then BGLC as well. These have a lot more volume. MSPR has 25 million shares traded. BGLC has 12 million shares traded. So let's go look at those, and then we'll look at the overall market. So let's go look at MSPR first. MSPR. MSPR 12 hours ago, MSP Recovery announces strategic term sheet providing prospective liquidity and restructuring of existing agreements to remove corporate guaranteed debt of by over 1.2 billion, as well as new agreements aimed at future growth. Okay, so they're doing some debt restructuring basically. Let's see BGLC. BGLC press releases. Last news was on March 7th of last month. BioNexus Gene Lab Corp and ML Tech partner to enhance Ethereum focused treasury. So that's a little bit of crypto news. Okay, so let's go and look at these statistics. One is doing debt restructuring, and then the other one's doing some crypto moves. MSPR. Float of 1.02 million insiders, heavy insiders on this one, 70%, and then institutions have 13%, so definitely heavy insiders on MSPR. But it's doing debt restructuring, so is that something that you really want to mess with? I'm gonna have to right now I'm gonna put it on no trade unless I find a reason to be like, okay, well maybe. But right now, I'm looking at no trade on MSPR with the debt restructuring. Just don't trust that. And then we have BGLC, BioNexus. Float of 12.31. So both of these have really high insiders, but the news isn't like relevant right now. So BGLC had news last month. Maybe it's building up to a news drop. Maybe somebody knows something that we don't. But until that, I want to see what's going on with that company before I try to so no news, last news, or last month's news. Actually, let me be more specific with this. BGLC had old news catalyst. All right. And then we already looked at Vero. So Vero with 2 million shares traded. Good morning, Danielle. I only see 3 right now. I see MSPR, which isn't looking the greatest with all these wicks. And this is something that I have to take in consideration on Fridays when there's not a lot of catalyst dropping. These wiki type stocks do a lot of damage to my account when I try to just rush in. All this wickedness, all of this right here, this on the top side as well, it's not looking great. BGLC, same story. Into aftermarket yesterday. Whoops. Into aftermarket yesterday. Then a little bit more here. Then some more wicks. Just wicks, man. All right, but looking over here at Vero, it's pretty much still in the same range that it had in the aftermarket. Aftermarket, it popped from $4 up here to 703. Then came back up here again to 703. And right now is right around this ATR high of 560, but pretty flat in here. So my question is, can it create a higher low, and does it have the catalyst to do anything on today? Now, this was a previous mover. That's why I'm kind of like, I wonder, is it going to trade up because it was a previous mover here? But I also want to look for my specific setup, which I'm not seeing right now. All I see is, you know, you got this nice little wick here, nice little wick here. It's going to have to break over some of this indecision. But the problem is, once it breaks over, that's a big move upward. That's almost what, a $2 move just to break over that. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it trades. Anyway, let's look over the overall market. So let's jump over here to the NQ. Yesterday, I took a trade on AREB, which is American Rebel. I watched this thing break down here, NQ breakdown, and I was looking around the level of 18,300 to 18,500. It started right here, right above this 18,500, started breaking. I was like, okay, gonna be patient. It came all the way down through 18,300. I was like, well, looks like it's not gonna allow me to do anything. Came back up here to 18,300, did a pretty nice test here, and I entered on this candle here looking for it to hold this previous low, and it shot up a little bit higher, and that was my profit on AREB, and I took my profit. It was $1 and something cents per share or something. AREB, let me show y'all AREB. So this is AREB. And this was this ATR from yesterday. ATR no pre-market. And then this is where the Wilders, the Wilders, the 14 bar Wilders was down here. So it came up above this level. It crashed down ATR, and I was not sure about this. I was like, I don't even know if this is gonna work because it's below. I like to see it most of the time above both of these. Came down, tried again during around lunchtime, right? Big move up, crash. Then when it came down on this one right here, this little 835, I bought this little $8 850 level is what I was watching. And it started getting up, started getting up. And at this point, I was like, I wonder is it going to reject off of this 956 here. If it does, I'm going to go ahead and be trailing my stop up. And I had a tight stop on this, but it just kept moving up. And so I was like, okay, these little red dots right here are my, whenever I take a buy, whatever risk I'm using, like if I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to risk 50 bucks, they'll come up here to the level that I'm risking. And they pretty much become like a hard stop. So that's what my hard stop was to begin with. 775 to risk 50 bucks on the trade. Now, the more I add, the more these things move up. But I only had 58 shares. So it went from here, 876, got up here to this level. And by this time, I had my stop up to 902. And I had entered at 861 was my average price. And it came up. It did not fail. It shot all the way up here. I was taking profit. Actually, I started taking profit around this 975 because I didn't know if it was going to reject here at 1022 again. And it just kept launching up. And I sold a good part of it up here at the 1102s. And I had 4 shares left. 4 shares left at the top here. And I was like, all right, I'm going to hold this 4 shares if it wants to continue. And it said, boop. It just hit this little drop down. I was like, okay, that's nasty. Actually, no, this one actually dropped back first. So I had 4 shares, and this thing went from 1124 and dropped back down here to 956 and held there for a little bit. And I was like, I don't know if I want to play with that. So I went ahead and sold my 4 shares on this one, and then it shot back up. And then on the next candle, it did this little fall move. So I actually got stopped out on this green candle. There was a huge sweep back down here, a $2 sweep down, which created a huge bar, a huge pin bar here. And I was like, okay, well, maybe it's just rejecting. So let me just sell out. And then it shot back up here. And so I was like, whatever. You know, I got the majority of the profit off. So I was okay. But anyway, we got, let's look around what we got. MSPR, we got BGLC, we got this one, Vero. Opening right at that ATR there. Don't really know what it wants to do, but I do see the wicks. I do see the wicks. Let me switch this over. Okay, NQ. So we got NQ coming down. But I am still digging out of my hole that I created for myself at the beginning of the month with that big drop on, I forgot what the stock was, but it was a big drop. Digging out of that hole, and there we go. Let me switch this over. And getting on up. Right now, looks like something. So we have 1700s, we have a hold of 18, we have another hold of 1830. It is below, or it's right on the ATR high here. I don't know if it's going to go up or down from here, but we see the ATR high in alignment with the 19400 up here. And this level has been tested multiple times. It came up here and failed again. Let me see how many times it's been tested. It's been tested 8 times so far that I've counted. 8 obvious times, not, you know, just putting a number out there, but how many obvious times can I count back into the past? And then the same thing with this 1900, 6 times, obvious times. And it's a whole dollar, almost a whole dollar level, around, I would just say 19K, but you know, that's the exact point that it came to. So, but we kind of like to think of these as ranges. Maybe if it gets into this level, it starts to find some type of resistance or support. Well, at this point, maybe resistance because it's underneath it. But it does have this ATR low here right above the gap fill level, 17,600s. Right now, leading the day for the large caps is Nvidia with some kind of low volume for Nvidia, only 5 million shares, but it is Friday. So, and let me change this back to auto. It is Friday, so we kind of got to figure out where things want to settle for the weekend. Or if they want to settle it all, if new news comes out. Actually, speaking of news, let's go over here to here. Anybody speaking today or doing anything crazy? Nope. All right, so just a regular old Friday, huh? All right. Well, for now, MSPR is the only one that I see over 100%. And I want to see it actually fall, kind of leave the scene, and then BGLC. But as for Vero, I don't know what this thing wants to do. It's looking like it's just playing around. It might end up pumping up and making people feel real bad they got dumped on back here. It may end up pumping up, but this is still not the setup that I'm looking for. So I'll wait. 3 million shares traded on it. ATR of $1.54. That is kind of a big ATR. Okay. And it may just go. You never know. It's getting above this ATR high, but the only thing that I'm looking at is it's not really started a trend up yet. This has just been flat motion with a couple pops. So I'm wondering, can it break and start trending up? Can it start regaining this 703 level up here and start trending up from here on Vero? Getting on up there. But that 703 is going to be interesting if it can get there by pre-market or by open. Start defeating some of this indecision. Up 48% right now. XOXS still up at 25 bucks. XOXL at $9. I'm liking that it is actually continuing to come down a little bit. So maybe I will get entries, but that's low here at 689. That was a beautiful low, but I think it can get back there. I really do. And if it does, I'll be ready. I shall be ready for that. Let me jump over to my dividends real quick. So let me save this. Actually, before we jump over there, let's look at oil. Oil at 59.90 right now has made its way. What was that pop up that it had? Okay, so this was the pop up day where it went to a low of 55, popped up to 63, and now is at 59. ATR high on this period is 63.29. ATR low is 57. And we don't know if there's going to be any true direction in the market today. So we just kind of got to see. Everything's just sitting in the middle. QQQs. The SPY. Yeah. So this one, it may actually end up doing something, but I got to wait for that pullback. Look at this extension. So these are 15-minute candles. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles with no pullbacks. So I'm like, I'll wait. A little bit extended in this in what looks like a consolidation. So if it gets up here and finds some type of wall and snaps back, how far can it come back after this extension is the question. 3 million shares traded on it. And can it do a pullback to this 559 level? Start to hold around here, maybe hold the fives and then get going up. I don't know. I'm just estimating, guesstimating. But it's looking a lot more powerful than MSPR or BGLC right now. All right, let me jump over here and see my dividend scanners, see what they're bringing up. Anything new on the day? Okay, so Intel still sitting at 1988. Come on down, big boy. We got, oh, I don't like those. So pretty much still looking like the same. KW down here. MEI. Still waiting for this one to drop a little bit more. NWL still at 455. And I got plenty of shares in there, but still not at a full position. RC is another one I've been watching. It has returned back up to this, or it has played in this zone multiple times from the 350 up to the $17, or wait, let me get that right, 1750s. And so I'm looking down here on these lows to try to get some, but it had a little bit of a gap down. I want to see if it can continue down as well. Pays a quarterly dividend. We already saw NWL, XR got a nice position in this one. It has played up above 10 bucks multiple times, so I'm just collecting some down here. If it gets going, right now I have 100 shares of it, and I'm looking for to add as long as it's under 5. But I've already added 100 shares, so I'm just letting it live right now, and looking for it to come back. Kohl's, this whole shopping and all that, I don't know how interested I am in that. I mean, it's come down quite a bit and it's played up there at 80s a couple of times, but I just don't know. Maybe let me go see who's holding Kohl's. KSS. Any big names holding this thing? Institutional holdings. We got, oh, well, there's a big name, BlackRock with 17 million of it. Vanguard with 11 million of it. This was updated on December 24th. So they actually sold a little bit, but I mean, 10,000 shares compared to their millions that they got. I don't know. I think they're still holding quite a bit. And then BlackRock actually added to their position, but this hasn't been updated yet. So it needs we need to see how this updates this year. Are they adding to this position? Are they dumping? I don't know where they are, but I do know who's holding, or the names that are holding. So let's go transfer this to 100. Did we just do that? Yep. Okay, so BlackRock. Anybody else in here that we know? Let's see. Okay, that's Citigroup has 262,000 shares. And they got 435 big holders. But if it's going in order, everybody under this is going to be holding less than 66,000. So we want to stick around right around a million. Barclays is in there. Okay, Bank of America. Charles Schwab is in there. Okay. So that's, I kind of like to see who's going to be holding with me if I'm going to get into a stock, right? I don't want to be in there naked and it's like only a couple of unknown investors that are interested. I want to see somebody in there holding with me that's got some gusto that can change things, in their favor, especially on these low price ones. Yeah, I gotta have that. Anyway, let me flip back over to the regular. Save that. Switch back. Oh, I just clicked the same button, didn't I? Gonna bring the same thing up. Okay, let me do day trade. All right, back over here. Looks like Vero did move up. So this is a couple of candles in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles in a row up here to 637. Very extended on I just haven't seen any kind of pullbacks here. So I'm not too sure about it, but it is up to looking like it wants to try that 703. But I want to see if that 703 is going to become some type of resistance for it. Almost 5 million shares traded on it. When it comes to those big traders, those big folks dropping like millions in there, you always want to see them playing around in this. And with 5 million shares, it's hard to know if they're in yet. They may be, I don't know. It's not a lot of liquidity for to be taking, millions of shares at a time, right? Getting in and out of millions. So I'm not sure yet with the way it's trading, just going up. Previous days ATR low. Looks like it closed there. ATR high and low was at 1020, and then a 761 up here. So it's got a couple of levels that I'm kind of like, is it going to get back here? $7 flat. We'll see. I don't want to try to risk it all on this one. But I think it could become the leader on the day. It could. Just needs to pick up some more volume. And Fridays are usually lighter volume anyway. Sometimes we get these sporadic things that just pop up and they go. Okay, so looking like the first little bit of red. Let's see where it wants to pull back to. Kind of tested this little bubble of indecision. Does it want to pull back or is it going to continue? Got right back into where the body of this previous candle was at 628. If it goes below this ATR high though, that's definitely going to be looking bearish for the pre-market. I'm not saying it's over with on the day, but definitely not the most bullish. So 7 o'clock has just hit. Seeing a little bit more volume coming in to some of these other ones around here. Vero has a beta of negative 0.18, so it really does not care about the market either. So whether the market dumps or whatever it does, sit still, it doesn't really care about the market. Right now, the market is above the ATR highs. Had a high touch up here of 18,000, right around the 800s. And it has touched down with higher lows on each of these. So I'm wondering what happens if it breaks down one of these higher lows, like it breaks down to 18,400s or something like that. Because we're getting multiple test points. Only other thing is it's not a true test. Let me see if it actually tested this spot. No, it didn't. Hasn't tested this specific trend line multiple times yet. So I extend that to the right and we'll see if it comes down here and tests this and then pops up. Okay, getting a little bit more of a dip on Vero. 561. Oh, wow. See, that's kind of what happened to me on that other day where it went from 631, it broke the ATR high here, and now look at it. And that's what we want to avoid. It had a super extension, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars. I saw that there was some struggle here in this bubble. It reached the body of this previous candle and then a huge fall from 631 all the way down. And we've been seeing this a couple of times during pre-market, these type of happenings, and it's just not good. So now it's only up 23%. So that's not what we want to get involved with. Big old dump. Big old dump. All right, MSPR and BGLC. BGLC going towards its ATR high here at the 272s, only up 30%. And then MSPR is the last thing with pretty good volume, but the only thing is they're doing debt restructuring. So I don't know what that entails for. It has pulled back, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles as well, with a little bit of struggle back up here to the 340s. So I'm wondering, can it give a move up on debt restructuring news, which isn't even from today, it was from yesterday. Let's go back and look at what we were looking at with MSPR. MSPR, MS recovery. BlackRock is in this one. It's not in as big. It's only got 146,000 shares. And I don't see anybody else with anything near 1 million shares. But let's go and look at the press releases. So 12 hours ago, MSP recovery announced a strategic term sheet providing prospective liquidity and restructuring of existing agreements to remove corporate guaranteed debt, by over 1.2 billion, as well as new agreements aimed to driving future growth. Okay, so MSP recovery, secondary payer reimbursement recovery, and technology leader. These initiatives are designed to reduce costs of the company through a new servicer entity, Dell Everage, the company, deleverage. I'm tripping. I said deleverage. Deleverage the company by converting certain debt of significant creditors into equity and release 1.2 billion of debt guaranteed by the company. Provide access to 9.75 million of bridge funding to the company, which 6.5 million remains available through July 2025, and up to 25 million working capital for new servicer. Okay, so they're talking a lot of money, but I don't know if the company has come up with any actual new things to change this. Let's see, sole direct discretion of Hazel. I'm seeing a lot of numbers, but I don't know. We'll see. On MSPR, it is coming up 136, and it's got 28 million shares traded after this little pullback. We do have wicks up here as well around the 380s, so could it trade back to those wicks? I don't know. It's holding right here at the point of control of 295. I am seeing another one. Wait, no, what is this? NAOV just popped in. NAOV, it's only up 12%. I'm not worried about that. 12% is not great. Popped up here to 869 with a big old wick. So we're seeing wicks all around here. BGLC broke its ATR high. So the last thing that we're seeing is MSPR. So I'm wondering, is the focus going to draw over here? It's up 145%. It is still above its ATR high by quite a bit. ATR high down here at 150s. And will it form another wick, or does it actually want to push back to these previous levels of volume here at the 350s? Has an ATR of 23 cents. Let's go look at this larger time frame here. So MSPR, we can look at the ATRs. The ATRs have been from 30 cents, and they kind of decreased as it chopped down. And now it's sitting somewhere up here at $3, right at the top of this. Let me make this big so y'all can see it. Right at the top of this is where it's kind of seeing that little struggle. 312. $3 whole dollar level, I guess you can call it. $3, and we'll just call it whole dollar. Okay, so we got our whole dollar of 3 that is kind of throwing wicks around. On these other charts, let's see, it's still looking kind of weird on the 4 hour and all of this. This is like 2 big candles, but it's trading within these candles. Interesting. All right. Well, came down and made a lower low. So this one blasted down and made a bottom at 280, and then this one made a lower low. So I'm wondering what's going on here. Does it want to get active? Let me activate this drawing. Oops. Okay. So I don't know. This is the pretty much the last one that's kind of holding up. AREB is the one that I traded yesterday, but it's only up 8%. Not looking great. And then NAOV just was not able to hold up that $8 level. I thought I oh, I didn't save this. That's what happened. Let me make this smaller. And Nvidia still leading the day in the large and mid caps. And there and there. Okay, let me save that this time. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so quite a bit of struggle around this $3 level. Maybe it pushes off, I don't know. But it's 5 minutes until we know something. Hit the top side of the 326, so I'm guessing that's where if scalpers were gonna attack it, it'll be at that 325 level to see if it can go higher and have a out down here at $3. So it's a 25-cent risk for it to break this 325. Especially hyper scalpers, they like to buy that first, you know, what is it, 1 minute breakout or however they do it. So we want to see, is it going to get continuation through this 325? It's got quite a bit of buying in here, and the point of control is at 295 right now. Four minutes left on this candle. $30 million shares traded on this one. Back at the 3. Will it disrespect that 3 and break it on down? Nope, couldn't do it, huh? Another test, and this test is a little bit lower than a 3. Looking at this 15 minute, right at the point of control of the 295 there. And the bottom of this is 278. Okay. So broke the 3. Will it come back above the 3s? Plenty of little wicks up here. So we got a bubble up here, and now we're starting, but this needs to get tested multiple times before we put a bubble here. I don't even know if this is actual resistance. The only reason that I bubbled these up is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times it got hit here. 1, 2, 3 times it got the obvious levels that it got hit at. And with just one candle, we just can't be sure. This one's got a 0.62 beta, so it does not care about what the market is doing, whether the market's going up or down. It's kind of impartial. This 15-minute candle is about to close. We'll see if it closes under the $3. It's got about 30 seconds left on this candle. And $3 is looking like some type of resistance. NAOV. See, there's some crazy moves going on during these pre-markets. Look at this. It was just up. to 8, lost $3 or almost $2 per share down here. This market is cooking, people. It is. All right, so now we got a open right on the 3. And it has this pattern of doing a couple of wicks, doing a couple of wicks, but is it going to start blowing through this 325 here? Or does it want to continue down? Continues to show struggle around the 3 though. $305s. Can it make a lower low than this 270? If it is, it's kind of creating a pattern of downtrending if it does. Okay, it's gonna snatch back. So another little pin cap there. But this candle still has a whole 15 minutes on it. Debt restructuring. Vero killed some people today. That's crazy. BGLC. I mean, this is the last one that I actually see that could make a move. The only problem is I know people are indecisive because of all these wicks. It could easily come up here and snatch down. You buy too high and it snatches down, you're gonna get hurt. The only people that are gonna profit on this are the people that are brave enough after seeing these dumps in the market to buy in here around 3. And I'm just not seeing the setup that I like in here. It may go, but got this high here of 325. It's at 315, 10 cents to go. It has an ATR of 23 cents from yesterday. Hmm. Yeah, the 15 minute definitely is not making this thing look attractive. On the 4 hour, it definitely doesn't look attractive either, though. Let me show y'all the 4 hour. This is our beautiful, beautiful 4 hour chart. Came up to these, and this is where those bubbles are on my 15 minute. This is the level that it's got to break 350. 350 to go green on this 4 hour candle. But right now, we're in the red. So, like, I don't know. TSM up 4% today. MSTR up 3%. BABA up 1%. See, Nvidia up 1%, but Nvidia is leading in volume. Then Amazon, Tesla, and Apple. Keeping an eye on A-Rail just in case the market wants to shoot up. But it just doesn't have that volume that it had yesterday. MSPR did get a slight push out over this level of the 25s, but then just reached back in. But I'm seeing a lower high here. Okay, here, lower low, I mean. So it's definitely got some people trapped up. $3 just keeps getting hugged. So this is 2 of these little pins. This one had 1, 2, 3, 4. This one had 1, 2, 3. This one has 1, 2. But we gotta wait for that next candle and see if it's going to actually break down 3. Is this actually even going to close as a pin? All right, back over here to NQ. We need you to come and start to solidify a trend, because right now you haven't solidified anything. You stopped early, didn't exactly test this trend. This is gonna make a lot of people, if they have bigger size positions, gonna make them impatient. I want to see them sell it through this $3, and shorts just add into that selling going down. Got about 7 minutes left on this candle. It's trying. That 325 is not playing. It's a huge, look at those sizes come up at 323s right before it got to that 325 level. Huge, somebody's sitting here big at that 325. I'm guessing they do not want it to break out. Coming on down. Will it go back under 310? 310s got tapped. Yeah, this is a whole lot of back and forth. 32 million shares traded on this one. Buyers look to be getting impatient. Will they sell and add to the seller's pressure? Yep, so another pin bar here. So yeah, I can't really do anything with this type of trading. This is a lot of indecision. I like to see the momentum get going, and the way this thing is moving, it just looks like death a little bit. BGLC kick down here to the ATR high. So it's bounced off of this twice, but I mean, it's just got old news. Well, Friday is looking like it's probably gonna have to be a Freaky Friday because there's nothing during pre-market that's giving the action that would kill the day. A lot of times when pre-market on a Friday is hot, sometimes the rest of the day is not. So we'll see what actually ends up popping up. I'm not gonna waste my capital down here on MSPR prematurely when there could be something else rolling down the windpipe that I could take advantage of. Because at this point, like I said, I'm getting out of that little hole that I had that when I suffered one of those, where is it? Vero, when I suffered one of these with 300 shares in earlier this month. So I'm kind of like A plus or nothing. You feel me? A plus or nothing. You don't want to be playing around with these. Yo, nothing to see here. We're around here looking around the markets. I'm looking to see if there's any kind of confirmation on the NQ today. It had this little stop, had this little trend. It got tested twice, but I want to see it. I want to see it actually get, hold again and see if it can start moving upward. But we got the ATR high and lows down there, looking to see where this thing's going. But at this point, I don't know. I'm just in an I don't know moment on the market, so I'm just going to sit on my hands as long as I don't know. Still waiting for XOXL. Come on back down so I can get my entries. Came down to this 689. All we need is like a slight drop. And I got all kinds of alerts set on this thing. If it hits down here, I'm waiting to scoop some. Because that tariff pause really put a dent in my plan. Really did. But for the most part, everything that I have entered is doing pretty good. Last time I was in this situation where things came down, I just sized in way too small, and it really wasn't even worth it for the amount of size that I took, and I could have taken more, and I was like, oh man. So when they got going up, I'm like, man, you know what? Whatever, I'm just gonna take the profit. But now I got some relatively nice positions in everything that I'm in. So, and they're all paying dividends, so I'm gonna get paid whether regardless. Come on and come back and test this 18. And this is another thing that I've noticed with the patience thing. When you see something that looks bullish or whatnot, finding that, because it takes time, especially on the market, it takes time for true confirmations to happen. I mean, this thing could go up, splash down, test this trend. It's so many things that could happen. So I'm like, look, you know what? If you want to go sideways, it's a Friday. I'm not sure what you want to do. I don't know what news may pop out today, but I do know that there is this what I'm seeing, right? I know what's in front of my eyes. And I'm like, I just want to get confirmation on this, that you are on an uptrend, right? If it comes down here, breaks this level and just piles down and maybe hits down here at 1798, well, I'm like, oh, well, I must have been wrong. Now, if it breaks this level and then pops back up and starts holding this trend, hey, that's a different, it's so many different options, or not really options, but outcomes that could happen. I'm okay. I'm gonna sit here and just wait on them to unfold. I do like trading things that are heavily dependent on the market. It's kind of easier, especially for small caps. If the market's going up and they're going up when the market's going up, oh man, all I need to see is a nice little bounce out here, and that small cap just reacts. But when they don't care about the market, and let's say they do have a catalyst, but they don't care about the market, it's kind of harder to find parallels to make things make sense. And if they don't care about the market and they don't have a catalyst, then that's really hard, which makes sense, right? But yeah, just waiting to see what happens. You traded the market inverse yesterday. Which one? Did you trade XOL? Or did you trade the semiconductor inverses, or some other type? Like what's the other ones? You got is TSM inverse? TSM, let me see. TSM. TSM is not an inverse. What is an inverse? I usually have a whole list of the inverses. Maybe I still do. Wait a minute. Let's see. Personal inverses. Do I still have that? Oh, I do not have my inverse list. SDS. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I see. Now, did you day trade this, or were you already in SDS and you just sold your position? Because it looks like it had a pretty nice pop down from let me think. Let me see what days. So gapped up, came down big to 24, went back up, had a huge fallout, and then back up. Let's see the ATR high. It broke this ATR high at 23.41 and got going. 23 all the way up to 24.47. Came back down and could not hold that ATR into the afternoon. Dropped down and then popped back up. A lot of action. Day trade got in at 22.76. So you got in at the ATR break, okay? So 22.76 somewhere up in here for that ride up. So this green line is ATR Wilders, the ATR 14 bar Wilders. So it calculates based on the last 14 bars. And then this one is the ATR that is calculated from the previous day. So you take the close of the previous day, add the ATR of the previous day, and that's what you get right here. So it played along both of these, ripped, had a little pause break. It didn't really respect this one. It just kind of went straight to it, straight through it, I mean. But it respected this other one, this Wilders. It came through, found a little resistance, came back and tested it, and then got going. So what I'm looking for in my trades is for it to be above this Wilders for sure. It needs to be above this Wilders. This one I'm looking this higher ATR I'm looking for if it shows resistance. If it breaks the Wilders and then shows resistance, and sometimes the ATRs are below this, so sometimes it's already above this. If it's above both, then it's a green to go for me to trade it. But you know, sometimes it's not above both, and you have this one up here that could become some type of resistance. But yeah, nice trade. 26 or 22. I don't know how much profit you were looking to get off of it, but let me see. There's a little pullback there. Held up all the way to 24.44. So it's about a $2 move there. The ATR on this one overall is $1.75. $1.75. So definitely a very nice move. It actually moved a little bit further than its actual ATR, which is pretty nice. Sold at 23.50. Okay, about a dollar per or yeah, almost a dollar per share. 23. Oh, you sold at the ATR 23.50. Got your move. Boom, sold right there. That's nice. Yeah, that's kind of the move that I like to pull. If it's below this ATR, like I traded a AREB yesterday that had the same kind of look, but it was a low float. And so it came up during the beginning of the day, shot up above this ATR. It was already above this green ATR here, shot up, came down, tested the ATR. And I thought about taking this one when it came down here, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna wait because the market, this one has a high beta of like 4. And if I was the market heavy, so during this time when it was coming up, the market was going down, and I was like, I'm not taking that trade. And so it popped up, and then it reacted to the market, big drop down. Then right here in this right at 12 o'clock lunchtime, around like 12 yeah, lunchtime, the market started going up, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get in here at 861, and I got to move all the way up here. I sold the majority, so I sold some as it was crossing this 975 level. Then I sold some here because I thought it was going to reject here at 1027. And then I sold the red or a lot more right here at the top of this. And I was holding 4 shares up here. And this green candle ripped all the way back down to this 950 level. And I was like, ooh, that doesn't look good. But it was still above my entry, which was 861. I was like, I don't want to get caught up in a crash. And so I went ahead and it bounced up just a little bit back to 970s or whatever. And then I sold, and it came down here to 940 and then popped back up. And then on the next close of the candle, it started its descent. So I definitely understand selling at that ATR high, because I did not know it was going to reverse and take my soul. Oh boy, MSP are still up here with the wicks. So it did hold up that $3 level, but I'm just not trusting that. 34 million shares traded on it with debt restructuring. I'm gonna let somebody else play with that. Let me see. Market is too sensitive to news drops, so I'm flat at the end of the day. I majority swing trade, but too much risk at the moment. Yeah, it's super volatile. I was so just baffled at that tariff pause, because I just knew in my head I had already planned this out. Hey, this thing's gonna be coming down here. You know, I'm just gonna wait for it. Blah blah blah. And then news comes out of nowhere. The good thing is that I didn't wait on everything. I did take some positions in other places. Let's also look at crypto and see what Bitcoin is doing today. Let's see what you're doing over here, Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is back over the 80,000s. I've added to these positions multiple times. I'm good on everything. I got enough to. I'm good. I'm just waiting for something to pop off. MSPR is going towards 325. I'll go back over there and look at that in just a minute. The Bitcoin came up here, 100K, pulled down to a low of 77. Now this is where I thought it could get was 71. And so I was adding towards these bottoms to see if we find buying pressure down here, not on Bitcoin, but other things that follow Bitcoin. And so it continues to come back into this indecision that we're seeing. So I'm wondering, is the NQ, go back over here to the NQ, is it going to actually do what it needs to do and continue up? But first, before it continues up, I want to see a test back down at least this trend here, 18,300s, to see if it can confirm if it wants to break or not. Now, it, like I said, there's many options. It could just slap right through this, could not ever touch this again and just go up or whatever. But this is the idea that I'm looking at to see, you know, confirmation. Okay, MSPR, what did it just do? It went up to the 325s again. It's another time it's formed these wicks up here. I'm thinking it's going to be a killer at the open. But yeah, back over to Bitcoin. Yeah, so just waiting for new buyers to come in and go ahead and take this thing over 100K. Take it over 100K, baby. Ethereum down here at 1500. Solana down here at 118. All right, so let's jump back over. Oil is just holding right there steady at the 60s. Or wait, what is this? Why is it saying 60? Oh yeah, it is 60. Okay. ATR high up here is 63s. ATR low is probably way down there. 63.19. Interesting. Wednesday euphoria rip only made sense that profit taking would happen on Thursday. Should have went short Wednesday, but holding overnight, I didn't want to risk anything. Yeah, holding overnight is a new test that I have not. Well, I mean, in my long term portfolio, sure, I can hold forever, but swing trading, I just haven't got my heart to the right place yet. I guess my heart just it just can't take it. Wake up and I'm like, oh my god. But I guess it's the same thing with what I do during day trading because you are you got your plan, looking for your plan to play out, giving it your whatever, however long you're holding, couple weeks, couple days, whatever. You know, just chilling out. Well, this thing plays so much. This thing has just done little breakouts, little breakouts, little breakouts, and then it's snatching back every time. Let's see if it snatches back under 320. 329. Go ahead and snatch back, big boy. Body of this previous candle, 350s up here. Get on back under 325. Get on now. You got a pattern to uphold. You got plenty of pin bars up here. Snatch back. Do your thing. Snatch back. Snatch back and get back below 325 here. Some volume came in there right there. They're looking for that break of high. There's some of those hyper scalpers. Let's see if they get snatched back on through 325. Is this thing being heavily manipulated? Do it to them. Do it to them, MSPR. Snatch back. They not gonna like that. If it breaks down at 325, they really are not gonna like that. I think we'll be seeing quite a bit of a sell-off. People trying to jump out of positions. They bought for the break of new high there, 337, and now they're getting cooked. Pretty big size right there. 335s are just popping up. Looking for more size to come at 330. Pretty big size there. Okay, volume's coming in there. More buyers coming in. Now this kind of held, but it's been choppy, so I'm not in full belief that it's actually gonna go anywhere. Second time they bought some more, added to this position for a continuation, and it failed. There it is. Can it break down 325? They're losing their guts. 325 breakdown. We should see quite a bit of a sell-off. 5 cents left. 328, 327. Will more buyers get trapped in this, or are they ready for it to go down? There's 24. Look at that volume coming in. Let's see how far this thing pushes back. Break of 320. So stop some people. So yeah, it's just playing with people's souls at this point. All right, NQ coming on back under that ATR high. Test point at this point will be 18,307. If it continues to go sideways, we'll just continue to see what price is going to try to test this set, and if it'll break on through and try to go. If it breaks the trend, where does it stop? Does 18,000 become a spot, or back down here towards the 17.9s? Where will it go? Yep. And that's actually already happened today on Vero. So I was watching Vero around here. I was looking at it trading above this ATR high, and it dropped from 630 all the way down here to 436. So a $2 drop there. I know some people got hurt on it, and it's only up 9% now. So that's what I'm expecting to happen here. Point of control right now is 295. So if it can get going down there to 295, it's going to take a lot of people with it that have taken trades up here. $37 million shares traded on it though. See if we can exit this bubble down here at 3. Yep, there's 315. Get the rest of that selling pressure in there, boy. Yeah, I think today is just gonna have to be a Freaky Friday because if something else pops up during the day, then I might do something, but not forcing anything. Yeah, I got a couple minutes left, and I'm gonna get ready to get on down. Get ready for the day. The other thing that kept me from doing anything with MSPR is look at this 4-hour chart. This 4-hour chart is looking crazy. Like that's not good at all. All right, NQ, you headed down. You wanna break down? Get on under 18,400 for us. You do. Come on down. Mm-hmm. Want to go red on the day, NQ? We're cool with that. Sell all rallies. Is this a rally? Is the NQ rallying? Well, I guess it rallied here. Then it did sell. Then it rallied here. And it did sell. Rally here. Sell. But I don't know. It's like I said, I kind of want to see if it's gonna go ahead and break this little piece down here. But on the open, that real volume is gonna come in, and we'll see how this thing actually wants to behave. Hmm. Nvidia, why is Nvidia going up and the market's going down? Or the market really isn't going down. It's kind of just, if it starts going down, I'm sure Nvidia will react. Tesla, it's already reacting. So these pre-markets were, or these were ATR highs. 251. That was back on last month on the 11th that it's back to. Then Baba already slightly react. Okay, so the NQ is looking like it wants to get through that 18,500. Break down this 18,460. It's below the ATR high now for this session. And basically this one is just counting back 14 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's taking the high, open, low, close of each one of them and averaging that movement. Okay, so we're below 18.5s. This is the catch point that I want to see if it can start holding this trend up. Definitely got a lot of space in between here though, so there could be a lot of time. Anyway, I'm gonna go and get some breakfast and chill out, you know. You watched the previous week on the hour chart. Wait. Let me read all of these. Whatever happened to Trading Monkey? Do you remember that YouTuber? Yes, I remember him. I think he just stopped because he was trading stocks at first and then he went into options. And the thing that I learned, see, I went into options first before I came to stocks. And so that was one of the biggest mistakes of my life because options are a derivative of stocks. And so how can you trade something without understanding the parent? Like it's a derivative of stock. If you can't trade stocks, trading options is going to be really bad for you. And so he went into options, and I think what happened was he took a over because options, your losses that you can take are way bigger than in stock. You have too many variables, and if you're not like if you're just pressing the buy button just like with a stock, it can go real bad. And I think that's what ended up happening. He just was like, you know what? I'm gonna chill out. I'm gonna chill out. Um, Options are not a game. They are not a game. You need to definitely do some deep level understanding of stock before you try to mess with options. A lot of people would be like, well, options are easier. Well, sure, if you just get lucky a bunch of times, but all it takes is one time to blow a whole account. You got puts, you got now if you're using if you learn strategies with options as far as hedging, not taking naked calls, naked puts, and you're actually hedging your positions, that's where options can become a little bit more um I don't want to say safe, but they can become a little bit more feasible with your losses. Take a position, you think it's going up, you get some calls, but if it goes down, you get some puts as well. So no matter which way it goes, you're going to recoup your losses, right? You go heavier on the side that you believe in, you think it's going up, get you 5 contracts of Tesla, you think it's going up. Then you can have like two puts, 5 calls, 2 puts. So if it does come down, you still make money. You're able to recoup your losses on your calls. But I mean, if you're just out here doing naked options trading and all of that stuff, it's gonna get bad for you. It's gonna get real bad for you. And that's what he was doing. He wasn't hedging. He was doing naked calls, naked no covering, and all that. Let's see. I watched the previous week on the hour chart. Looks like a bear flag forming on the longer trend of 3 months. Let me look back. Now this is 180 day. I got a bigger chart over here to look back a little bit further. Yeah, we had this big little spike up, and now looks like a continuation downtrend. Like yeah, bounce off a trend line. Yeah. So came down. We had this trend back here, gap fill that I marked there. Then we had this previously tested level of the 19,000s. So the question is this downtrend done? Does it want to start getting back up? And right now we just don't know with this kind of setup. Okay. All right. Anyway, I'm about to go grab some breakfast. BGLC, MSPR. I'll probably come back and see if there's anything else that pops up, because those are just not interesting to me. But yeah, appreciate you guys for tuning in for sure. I'm going to get ready to get out of here, and as always, I will see you in the next one. If you're going to continue trading, definitely keep your head on a swivel. It is Friday. It's the end of the race week for day traders. So, sometimes volume gets a little bit lighter because people are trying to hold on to their profits. But, it is what it is. Anyway, I will see you guys on Monday morning, pre-market. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.